The 2026 anniversary event is here, and if you have played this event before, you need to take all the things you know about the minigame and forget them. The minigame looks almost exactly the same, but it plays much differently. As before in this event, there is a board with some colored gemstones on it that are locked behind glass. These gems have 4 different tiers and 3 different colors, plus a 4th colorless tier that is sort of a wild card. You can spawn unlocked gems by using the spawn button on the board, which costs some event currency. You can then merge unlocked gems with the locked ones to free them. You can merge 2 gems of the same tier that are either the same color or colorless. Merging with locked gems gives you some progress towards the grand prizes and a small reward. You'll also notice that all the locked gems have either the top or bottom of a key on them. When you merge a gem with the top of the key with one that has the bottom, you get a colorless gem of the same tier or lower than what you would normally get. So 2 level 2 gems merged to make a key will get you a level 3 colorless or lower. This chart shows the odds from samples of about 200 to 300 merges for each tier, but you don't need to memorize this. The important thing is that the odds are heavily weighted towards getting the higher tier colorless gems once you merge. The effect of the keys making colorless gems when merging is that it has become far easier to unlock a lot of tiles with only a few original spawns, as if you keep making keys, you keep getting colorless gems. If you do manage to clear the board of all locked gems, it will automatically refresh and you will get a new one. Alternatively, you can spend some energy to refresh the board, starting at 0, then 40, then it doubles from there until the maximum of 320 energy per refresh. Note that while the cost to refresh the board resets daily at midnight, the board itself does not. Also, be aware that in previous iterations of this event, you got a reward for clearing the board. Here, you do not. You'll also notice that this minigame has some tasks on the right side of the screen. These are the single most important component of this minigame. Tasks are going to be responsible for the vast majority of your progress towards the grand prizes, they give coins for one of the event shops, and they are also the only source of progress for the World Challenge, which gives even more rewards. In short, your main goal in this event is to complete as many tasks as possible. There are easy, medium, and hard tasks, each of which offers different rewards and conditions. This chart shows all the tasks and their rewards and conditions for each difficulty. Note that the tasks did get changed a little bit since beta, so I'm not sure what the easy tasks will be. The World Challenge itself is pretty straightforward. You complete what are called tasks for rewards, and yes, this is a really bad name since the tasks in the minigame are also called tasks, so I'll be referring to the World Challenge tasks as World Tasks. A World Task requires you to get 14 progress towards the World Challenge by completing the tasks in the minigame. This had been 12 progress on beta, but it's been changed to 14 progress for the live servers. You get 1 progress per minigame task you complete, so essentially each World Task requires you to complete 14 minigame tasks. Once you do, you will get a reward of 1 network coin, which are used in one of the event shops. You also work together with players on your world to level up. Each level your world hits, you can get a reward if you have completed the requisite number of world tasks, but be aware that the exact breakdown of rewards and requirements changed since beta. If your world reaches the absolute final level, you will start getting 2 coins for each world task you complete. Also, it's important to note that there's no flashy sign that you've completed a world challenge task. The button just turns green to collect the reward, and it can be extremely easy to miss. Keep an eye out and always claim the rewards the moment the tasks are complete. You will of course have some boosters to help you along with the minigame. These are the Gem Mine, Pickaxe, and the Prismatic Essence. The Gem Mine spawns an unlocked gem that is tier 1 or 2 and can be any color, including colorless. If you are a nerd, here's the chances for each spawn via the Gem Mine from a sample of 500 gem mines. These are extremely useful for guaranteeing yourself a low tier spawn, which can come in handy for starting a chain of making keys, getting colorless gems, and clearing out more locked gems. The Gem Pickaxe splits any unlocked gem into 2 of the tier lower. Key pieces do carry over to the split gems. The pickaxe is very useful for helping free locked gems when you're stuck with only higher tier ones, and this makes it a major asset in completing your tasks in the minigame. The last booster is the Prismatic Essence. This lets you convert all locked and unlocked gems of the same color into colorless gems. While that is useful on its own, any locked colorless gems give 8 times the progress when they are freed. This means a locked tier 4 colorless gem gives 32 progress when you free it. This makes the Prismatic extremely extremely valuable in gaining more progress if you can use it on a color with lots of high-tier gems on the board. You start with one of each of these boosters and can purchase more from the first event shop, up to 5 gem mines, 2 pickaxes, and 1 prismatic essence per day. Note that there is no mini challenge in this event, so all the boosters you may want will have to come from the shop. Before we get to the shops though, we need to talk about all the buildings that you can get from this event. The main event building here lets you choose one of 2 upgrades at its final level, the Mark III Purified or Mark III Null Anomaly Extractor. Both are some of the strongest buildings in the game for their respective army boosts for the expeditions. Other than defense or attack, the only difference is the random productions they offer. The Purified gives a chance at forge points, while the Null gives a chance at goods. Either option gives fragments of the 2 side buildings in this event, the Iris Glass Gardens and Meridian Sundial. They give boosts for the guild battlegrounds and units. When ascended, both will get Quantum Incursion's army boosts and starting resources, plus stronger productions. The World's Fair from the 2019 Archaeology event is getting new upgrades this year that introduce army boosts and boost the productions. Its Platinum upgrade removes the road connection requirement and gives a small army boost to the Quantum Incursions. You also have a chance to win a Platinum Selection Kit for the World's Fair in this video's giveaway, as this video was produced in collaboration with InnoGames. The link to enter is in the description, and it ends 2 weeks after this video goes live. Note that the giveaway is unfortunately closed to players on the Italian or Brazilian servers. Back to the World's Fair, it also has a new Ascended upgrade that gives even stronger army boosts, boost to forge points and goods, quantum actions, and actions capacity. It's somewhat similar to the Governor's Villa that got upgrades in the last summer event. To keep it ascended, you will need the Palace of Liquid Light, which provides army boosts for the battlegrounds and incursions, a good amount of population, forge points, and those fragments for the World's Fair Ascended upgrade. You're only able to get the Palace of Liquid Light in the event's second shop. The first shop is where you spend the coins you get from the tasks in the minigame, known as research coins, and the second is where you spend the coins you get from the World Challenge, known as network coins. There's a lot of items in the first shop, as shown on screen now, but the ones to keep an eye out for will include the World's Fair selection kits. You need to pick up a few of these to get a level 10 World's Fair if you don't have one already for the new upgrades. The Ascended Octo Orb might be useful for those looking to pick up temporary forge point and goods boosts. You can get the Ascended kits for the St. Patrick's Day event buildings here, as you couldn't get them for free during the event. You can buy network coins for 80 research coins, which is pricey, but if you like the items in the next shop, it may be worthwhile. And lastly, the 3 most important items here are the boosters. I'd recommend buying all the gem mines and pickaxes here every single day, and a good portion of the prismatic essences as well. The shop refreshes once per day for free automatically and resets the purchase limits. This also shuffles the 2 50% discounts between all the items except for the boosters, which can't be discounted. You can also refresh the shop manually, once for free per day, and then for 1 research coin, and then it doubles each time. Note that refreshing manually does not reset the purchase limits for the boosters. Always use the free reset to try to land the discounts on items you would want. I'd estimate seeing a 50% discount applied to any specific item about 4 times during the event. Also, it's important to keep an eye on your stock of research coins, as there is a maximum on them of 100. The second shop doesn't have that problem. There is no cap on network coins, and the shop itself does not reset at all. It's the same set of items for the entire event. These include the Palace of Liquid Light, and you will need 30 coins to buy both the level 1 and upgrade kit. You can also get a cool avatar, the World Challenge building from the previous anniversary event, upgrades for the World's Fair, and the Ascended side buildings from this event. Notably, for the first time ever, we can get 1 down kits without having to spend tons of diamonds or real money. This may be especially important with the Great Building update likely requiring goods from earlier ages. You can get the fragments of the Eternal Market or allies in this shop, and these fragments are required to complete their respective items, or you must get quite far in the grand prizes. Lastly, you can get some resources and the boosters, but I would highly recommend not purchasing any of the boosters from this shop. They aren't worth it in most cases, and you would probably be better served just spending it on the buildings or other stuff in the shop. As you can probably tell, this shop has a lot of good items, and you will have to choose wisely which you want. As a lot of your performance in this event is rather skill-based, it is difficult to put an exact number on how many network coins you can receive. My recommendation is to just wait until the end of the event to determine which items you want with the total of the network coins that you manage to collect. And of course, to maximize the network coins, you're going to need the strategies for this event. which of course means that it's time to take a look at our event currency. We're looking at around 10,300 energy to spend, and that does include all the gem mines you can buy in the shop. I'm counting them as 10 energy each, as they basically function the same as spending 10 energy to spawn a gem. Additionally, this energy total assumes you complete the daily challenge each day. It gives you a 2% chance to get 500 energy, but I've run this calculation with the assumption that you never get that. All in all, this means that you have about 470 to 490 energy to spend each day. The progress thresholds and the grand prizes that you want to aim for are 14,250 for the main event building, 15,000 for the platinum upgrade for the World's Fair, 15,750 for the last fragments of the Eternal Market, assuming you buy the 100 from the network shop, and 16,500 and 17,250 for the last ally fragments, again assuming you buy their respective fragments in the shop. Now, I think it's important to be realistic about these progress goals. They are 100% achievable for free. With that in mind, on beta, the Bronze League ended at around 10,000 and the Silver League around 16,000. This means you would have needed to place pretty close to the Silver League to get most of the progress goals. The good news is that it was a new minigame where everyone was still figuring out how to play, but you get all those details and strategy prior to jumping in, so I'm sure you'll do fine. Speaking of that strategy, with 490 energy per day, there are really two options. Either play 3 boards per day or 4. From my experience on beta, I got around 770 grand prize progress per day from 3 boards and 880 from 4. However, playing 4 boards requires deeper knowledge of the minigame than you may have at the start of the event. As such, for most players, I will be recommending playing 3 boards per day. You can always swap to 4 boards later in the event once you understand the minigame a little bit clearer, but I would just recommend starting with the easier strategy. Now, when I say 3 boards per day, I mean that you are buying the 0, 40, and 80 board refreshes each day. If you manage to fully clear a board, congrats! You've saved some energy that you can use later in the event. On each board, you'll want to spawn about 10 gems. Then you'll need to take a look at your tasks to determine whether you'll be able to complete them or if you should re-roll them. I would recommend re-rolling the medium task using the free re-roll when you see the Unlock 19 Gems task. As for the hard tasks, you want to see if you have the colors or levels of gems that the task asks for on your current board, re-rolling if you don't have many of what it asks for. I would recommend not going beyond the 20 energy re-rolls for the hard tasks each day. Then play specifically to complete the tasks using as few merges as possible. Now, there is some special consideration for when you reach your final board of the day. Here, you need to see whether it will be possible for you to complete your current tasks or not. This board is from beta, so the tasks are a little bit different, but the principle is going to be the same. My medium task asks me to clear 11 wind pieces, but I only have 10 remaining, and my hard task would need 4 more level 3 water pieces, but I've only got 2 remaining. Now, I could spend some energy to re-roll these tasks to hopefully get something I can complete on this board, but the better option is to just pause when you can't complete the tasks and wait until tomorrow. Remember, the boards do not reset at midnight, but your tasks do. By saving this board, I get all of these gems to use towards those future tasks. Again, this is only for your final board of the day. If you can't complete the tasks you have, and you've already used your free rerolls, just wait until the next day. Now, let's say you do know what you're doing in this event and want to maximize your rewards with 4 boards per day. Here, you have a few more things to keep in mind when compared to just 3 boards. First, you get way fewer spawns per board. You need to average around 5 per board. This means that you have to be much more careful with how you merge gems. This strategy relies on you being able to create keys to keep getting more colorless gems to unlock more and more of your board. Additionally, with 4 boards, you will have to make a choice between either spending 160 energy to buy the 4th reset after the 0, 40, and 80 energy ones, or spending that roughly 160 energy on one of your prior 3 boards to fully clear it. If you are able to clear a board in 16 spawns or less, you get a bit more progress from unlocking all the gems and no longer have to spend energy on the reset costs of one of your boards. This is a judgment call on which might be easy to clear, or if you should just pay the 160 energy reset cost. Some things to look out for when clearing boards is that if they have many high-tier gems, they may be a good candidate. If they have lots of low-tier gems, especially tier 1, it will probably be more expensive to clear. You can also try to use your gem mines on the board you want to clear to force lower-tier spawns that can make it a little easier. Other than the changes to spawning and potentially looking for those clears each day, 4 boards is very similar to 3. Focus on completing your tasks. Now, if you are planning on spending in this event, whether diamonds or money, you have to ensure that you spread out your spending across the event instead of concentrating it all on one day due to the rising costs of playing everything one day. Energy itself comes at quite a premium, with the cheapest package costing 2,290 diamonds for 820 energy. Also, once you start getting past 4 boards per day, do not pay the 320 energy board reset. 320 energy is 32 spawns. Odds are high that you can clear a board with an extra 32 spawns, so there's no reason to pay for that reset cost. Regardless, you should still be focused on completing as many tasks as you can. You need their progress towards both the grand prizes and world challenge if you want to maximize your rewards. And that about wraps up everything you need to know for this similar but not the same anniversary event. Event resources will be linked on my website, and consider joining my Discord server to chat about Forge of Empires with other players or to get help with the minigame. Both links can be found in the description below. Good luck in the event, and as always, I'll see you all next time.